Wubba lubba dub dub motherfuckers. What's going on, everyone? It is I. It is everyone's favorite jack of all trades with the foul mouth coming to Irving. Welcome back to another awesome fucking video, guys. I greatly do appreciate it. Before I do dive into this bitch, I want to give a special shout out to all you guys, my viewers and my subscribers for sticking around watching this shit. Here's what I fucking do this for you guys, so yeah. Anyway, it's just a few days until Election Day. Biggest decision of everybody's life is on this election. Are we going to vote to restore America or completely throw America away? What I mean is, are we going to be voting for Trump or Comrade Kamala Harris? Well, I already went ahead and voted already, and you guys probably know my choice. Trump 2024, baby. But anyway, the reason why we're talking about this because of a book. I read a book very recently, and it was an amazing fucking book. And it was written by Trump's running mate, and hopefully future Vice President J.D. Vance. James David Vance. What's the book I'm talking about? I'm talking about this one right here, guys. Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis by J.D. Vance. And it's a large print edition. It says right here, Hillbilly Elegy. From growing up in a poor Rust Belt, the thing's in the way here, so I'm trying to read it. Growing up in a poor Rust Belt town to graduating from Yale Law School, Vance offered his passionate analysis of a culture in crisis and an unlikely personal journey that informed and transformed him into a senator from Ohio and President Trump's running mate. The Vance story began with hope in post-war America. J.D.'s grandparents were dirt poor and in love, and moved north from Kentucky, Appalachia region to Ohio, in the hopes of escaping the dreadful poverty that was around them. But as the saga of Hillbilly Elegy plays out, we learn that J.D.'s family struggled with the demands of a new middle-class life, never fully escaping the legacy of alcoholism, poverty, and traumatic characteristics of the poverty of America. With piercing honesty, Vance shows how he himself still carries around the demons of his family history. And it says here, J.D. Vance grew up in the Rust Belt city of Middleton, Ohio, and the Appalachian town of Jackson, Kentucky. He was elected to the Senate representing Ohio and was nominated for Vice President by President Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Vance lives in Columbus, Ohio with his family. And this book is absolutely just gut-stabbing, painfully true. And what he talks about is basically his roots. And it says right here that in the introduction, he introduces himself. My name is J.D. Vance, and I think I should start with a confession. I find the existence of this book you hold in your hand somewhat absurd. It says right there on the cover that it's a memoir. But I'm 31 years old, and I'll be the first to admit that I've accomplished nothing great in life. But the reason why he wrote it, though, is because he talks about his family's past and about him himself growing up from a dirt poor family and nearly dirt poor community such as Middleton, Ohio, which was once a bustling steel town where a massive steel company had once been. And it's absolutely sad. And we first learned about his grandparents, which honestly, grandparents in a lot of ways sound like some of my grandparents on my dad's side of my family. They were pretty similar to what his grandparents were. And of course, my grandmother on my mom's side of the family, even though she was a bit more restrained and a little more refined, but she could fit pretty much a description of what he calls of his grandma Meemaw. But he talks about having to deal with his never really knowing his father from birth until much later on he got to know his birth father a little bit, to several men that were supposedly his father, including one that supposedly adopted him. and also his alcohol and drug abusing mother, which she's now been sober for many years. So congratulations to her. He also talks about his other family members too, such as his aunts and uncles, and all, talking about rising up from where you came from, and the fact that after he barely graduated college, he wanted to go, well, not college, but graduate high school. He wanted to go into college, but he couldn't really afford it, so he went into the Marine Corps. Did 4 years in the Marines, and then came back and went to Ohio State. And from Ohio State, he went to Yale, which is famous for law students and for law, for anyone that wants to work in law. But it's a story of triumphs and a story of tragedies, and there's also a lot of funny shit in here too. I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you don't like cursing and shit, then you don't want to read this book, because you don't want to read this, because there's a lot of cursing in this book. It's crazy shit. I wish I would have marked off some of this stuff here. I would read it to you. I'll have to try to find it here, but there is some shit there I will read. Wish I would have fucking marked this shit off. Like right here, this is his grandfather after Kawasaki had merged with Armco Steel Company, which was the steel company that was in town. And this is what his papa said about it. He said, the truth is, he told me, that the Japanese are now our friends now. If we end up fighting any of those countries, it'll be the goddamn Chinese. I mean, it's just the stuff that his family says and shit is just so fucking brutally honest. Especially his meemaw. His meemaw sounded just like a hoot. Absolutely just a freaking hoot. She just said whatever was on her mind. There was something, I can't remember what it was, but it was talking about J.D. Vance thought, it was at a young age, he thought he might have been gay or something, and then she said, "Do you like to suck dick?" He's like, "No." I said, "Then there you go. You're not gay." So, but literally when I first started this book, it took me about less than 3 days to read this book. It's that good. Okay, here we go. This is funny. This is the funny part right here. We're talking about reckoning with God. It says, by Mammal's reckoning, God never left our side. He celebrated with us when times were good, and confronted us and comforted us when they weren't. During one of her many trips to Kentucky, Mammal was trying to merge onto the highway. After a brief stop for gas, she didn't pay attention to the signs. So we found ourselves heading the wrong way on a one-way exit ramp with angry motors swerving out of the way. I was screaming in terror, but after a U-turn on a 3-lane interstate, the only thing Mammal said about the incident was, "We're fine, goddammit. Don't you know Jesus rides in the car with me?" Oh gosh. That's just great. Funny. But yeah, I mean, it goes on and on like this. But then finally when you get to the end of the book and actually where he explained, how, he's got a wife and had a kid on, now he's got 2 kids though and stuff. But once I got done reading this, I had a much better understanding about where he comes from, and not just him, but just, the hill people, as they call them, the hillbillies, which in fact, you know, I'm fucking could be classified as myself. So, great fucking book, absolutely wonderful, wonderful stuff. I wish he'd come out with another book. I'd read it. But overall, Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis by James David Vance. It's a great book. Absolutely a must read. And as for Mr. J.D. Vance, Senator J.D. Vance, and hopefully soon to be Vice President J.D. Vance, if you ever see this review and watch this, you're fucking amazing, sir. Amazing work. And God bless you and President Trump. I voted for y'all already, so hopefully I get too big to rig. So overall, I give the book 2 thumbs up and 5 fucking stars. It's a great book. Absolutely a must. If you want to know more about where Mr. Vance comes from and a lot of those Appalachian type people, this is the book to read. So there you have it, guys. That is my review of Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis by Senator and hopefully soon Vice President J.D. Vance. And if you have any questions or comments about any of the shit I do, leave in the fucking comment section below. I'll get back with you. And if you're new to the channel like this shit I fucking do, hit the fucking subscribe button. Hit the damn notification bell. Never miss a video from yours truly ever again. And let's get to 2,000 subs by the end of the year. Be fucking awesome. So yeah. Until next time, this is Common Urban. Send us smooth seas and clear skies and happy sailing with you. God bless you all. Take care. Stay safe. Be yourselves. Jesus and the good Lord love y'all very much. Until next time around, I'll catch you on One Trade Window with anyone knows. And let's go, Brandon. Fuck Joe Biden and fuck Comrade Kamala and Tampon Tim Walz as well. They fucking suck. And Trump 2024, baby, in a few days. He's going to be our president along with J.D. Vance. So, yeah.